Kingdom Rush Vengeance. Alright, we gotta talk about this. What is with the Kingdom Rush games becoming more and more pay to win? Like the first game, sure, you could buy a few extra heroes for reasonable, if not a little bit expensive prices, but now it's crazy. I had to spend $15 to get the rest of the towers in this game. It's ridiculous, man. I already bought the game, and now to get the rest of it, I have to spend more money. I get the point of DLC, but didn't some of these towers launch right beside the original game? That's just greedy. This is why I probably won't be ranking the heroes anytime soon, just because I don't want to buy them. I don't want to encourage this greedy behavior from Ironhide, so I guess I won't be doing the heroes. That being said, let me know what other Kingdom Rush videos you want to see. I'll be making videos on Kingdom Rush Legends when that comes out, but what else should I do? Kingdom Rush challenges maybe? Speedruns? Gameplays? Otherwise, there are some other games that could be pretty fun to do videos on. Bloons Tower Defense, anyone? Leave your suggestions in the comments below. I'd love to hear your ideas. Okay, enough stalling. Let's do this thing. In Kingdom Rush Vengeance, there are a total of 19 towers. After my controversial Origins ranking, I decided to give myself lots of time to analyze the towers and create my official ranking. Just so you know, I have all the upgrades turned on, and I will be ranking the towers based on their fully upgraded versions, though some footage might show weaker variants of the towers. This list is hard to make, they're all very close, yada yada yada. Alright, here we go. Number 19, Goblirangs. Oh boy, I'm sorry, somebody had to be last. Goblirangs is the most disappointing tower in the entire game. Its DPS is just horrible compared to all the other towers. It's clear that the tower is supposed to have this whole piercing damage thing going for it, but it's rarely ever useful. In general, I don't see things getting hit twice by the boomerang either. They're just too fast. None of the abilities are really worth mentioning either. You're probably gonna hear that a lot in this video. I just kind of feel bad. It's outclassed by every other ranged tower in the game, so there's kind of no point to use it. Sorry, Goblirangs. Number 18, Wicked Sisters. What a ripoff. You're telling me I spent money on this tower? I get the Wicked Sisters have quite a bit of versatility in their kit, but I hardly even utilize it. The tower gives you ability to swap between poison and stunning attacks, and you can move the witch anywhere within this huge range. However, if you use the poison attack, you're a fool. Like, literally, the stun is so much stronger. And I don't want to move the witch that much. I just want to place it and then forget about it. I have other things to worry about. Their abilities are really nothing to write home about either. One literally just increases the witch's flying range, which I don't use anyways. Another is a frog polymorph, which, okay, it's alright. And finally, there's the spell silencing ability, but it isn't nearly enough to save this tower. Sure, the Wicked Sisters can be good, but you have to babysit them the whole game. Plus, their voice lines make me want to scream. Number 17, Melting Furnace. I really like the idea of this tower. You guys know how I'm a sucker for towers that can hit everything in their range. But God, it's too slow, man. And it's not even that much damage. It hardly ever gets kills. And down the line, there are towers that are so much better at assisting like this, so it pretty much becomes obsolete. I like the ability to increase attack damage of surrounding towers, but I think the towers have to be a lot closer now to get the buff than back in the Frontier days with the Crow upgrade on the crossbow fort. Overall, Melting Furnace has lackluster abilities and an attack that just isn't quite enough. Number 16, Elite Harassers. This is our first barracks tower on the list, and in no way is this tower weak. It just doesn't quite stack up. First of all, good damage. This barracks tower you want to be placing near the entrances rather than the end of the path. The Harassers don't have anything in terms of armor, and they can die pretty fast if nothing's healing them. I do quite like their arrow ability though. It's a lot of damage and can hit at a decent range. The Fury of Twilight ability is just bad. It takes the Harasser's ability to hit ranged targets away, and it makes the unit respawn slower. Because the Harassers die quickest out of any other barracks tower, I pretty much always go for a different one. Not that bad, but not that good either. Number 15, Orc Warrior Den. The Orcs just barely beat out the Harassers for me. Honestly, it was so close. Orcs do much less damage than the Harassers, and they have slightly less health, but they have that armor, man. Personally, I like their abilities much more than the Harassers. The Rage one to do more damage is alright. The Orc Captain one is pretty good, but the best one by far is the Orc Healing, which regenerates 10 HP per second at the highest level. God, that's so much health. Plus the fact that there's 3 of them to block more enemies on the path, which is always something to keep in mind. That doesn't mean the Orcs are great, they're just barely better than the Harassers. Number 14, Rocket Riders. This tower is pretty good, but it costs too much. It's pretty fast for an artillery tower, dealing quite a bit of damage and handling crowds fairly well, but other than its main attack, I don't really care for any of its abilities. They're way too overpriced, and frankly, not really worth it. None of them deal enough damage, and they all feel the same to me. I don't have that much to say about this tower. I mean, I like the basic attack, I guess. Number 13, Orc Shaman. It's good, but way too expensive. I'm pretty sure this is the most expensive tower for its DPS. Also, the range of damage is so wide. At fully upgraded, it can either do 38 damage or 210. So maybe it outright kills the thing, or does basically no damage. That being said, I do really like the Orc Shaman's abilities. There's the Healing Vines, which is great around barracks, the Meteorite ability, which is great for crowd control, and the Static Shock ability, which is also great for crowd control. The thing is, a lot of this tower depends on its placement. If you put them in a good spot, you're golden. A bad one, and you just wasted a lot of money. Number 12, Shadow Archers. This is the definition of an average tower. Good solid damage with a fast attack and good range. Lame abilities though. The Crow is not worth it. I mean, 2 damage at max level? Come on. The extra damage arrow doesn't last long enough, and it's not very common at all. The only one really worth it is the backstab ability. It's actually not based on RNG, which is good, but it rarely ever happens, and when it does, it always seems to insta-kill the super weak guy instead of the really strong guy next to him. Like I said before, good base attack, but the abilities are really lacking. Number 11, Dark Knights. These are one of my favorite towers in the game. You couldn't kill these guys if you tried. They've got crazy armor with great health. Oh, and their abilities. Their abilities are so good. You've got the Thorns ability, where enemies take damage for every piece of damage the knights get inflicted. You've got the Shield ability, where the knights become invincible for a short period of time. That one's almost necessary for that Bulgar's King level. You know the guy with all the gold around him. You know the one. But, and this is a pretty big but, there's only 2 of them. Ugh. Yeah. They're still pretty good, though. Number 10. Infernal Mage. Oh, man. This is one of the highest DPSs in the game. Its basic attack alone makes it a worthy tower. Decent speed with a pretty good attack. The abilities are so-so. I like the Seismic Quake one, though it's pretty rare. The teleporting one is whatever. And the Lose Your Resistances one is good sometimes, but mostly not. The best part about this tower, like the Shadow Archers, is the basic attack. And I guess that's kinda all you need if you can dish out that much damage. Number 9, Spectral Mausoleum. When I first played this game years ago, I thought this was the best tower in the game. Upon further reflection, no, don't get me wrong. Great tower. I mean, the rest of them on the list are. The main attack is decent. It's nice that the Spectres stack, but that rarely comes into play. Like I said in my last ranking, the towers really only have time to stack attacks between rounds, and most of the time I'm rushing rounds to get the extra cash, so that really limits the damage building time. Where this tower really shines is its abilities. Of course I like the gargoyles. It's nice to have those blockers right in front of the tower. The extra specters are good too. It makes me wish the mausoleum would shoot faster with this, but no, it can just build up more. The other upgrade is really hit or miss. Possession ability. I've had some really good possessions where the tower grabs this really huge enemy and it goes and kills a whole bunch of stuff while injuring itself, so it becomes easier to kill. And then I've also had some possessions where I get some garbage enemy that does nothing and dies. I mean, Either way, I'm getting a kill, so it's not all that bad. Solid tower with good abilities. Number 8, Goblin War Zeppelin. Great DPS. One of the highest in the game. Holy crap. Ugh, but it's so ungodly expensive. I like that you can move it around and position it to the best spot on the track. It only really has one good ability though. I don't care about the oil one or the spawn the guy one. The best upgrade is the one that gives surrounding towers better range. However, the best part of this tower is clearly the base attack though. Everyone knows it. But man, it is expensive if you want to get it. Number 7, Grim Cemetery. I am so torn about this tower. I love so many things about it. The tanky zombies, the cheap price, the fairly good upgrades, the fact that there can be up to 5 blockers. The only thing that this tower really needs is the ability to move around the units. That would make this tower so good, it's crazy. Sometimes when you use the Grim Cemetery, the zombies get placed right on the edge of the path, so they become basically useless. Yeah, it doesn't happen all the time, but it's really annoying when it does. The abilities that go with this tower pair so well too. One gives you stronger zombies, another makes the zombies explode on death, dealing damage to enemies, and the last one makes hands burst from the ground, holding enemies in place. Everything this tower does stops enemies in their tracks, not letting anything by. Ugh, only if it had the ability to move units. This tower was so close. Number 6, Rotten Forest. Okay, I'll be honest. Rotten Forest is not good for every map. Its relatively small range and specific use isn't always that great. But oh man, when it works, it works. I love placing this tower around some big curve or out in the center area. It's such a great supportive tower. Enemies get damaged and slowed while walking through the forest. It's perfect to place some troops right in the middle of the forest to maximize its effect. Plus, Rotten Forest has some pretty good upgrades. The Root Grab upgrade holds enemies in the damaging forest for longer. The Tree Ant upgrade attacks enemies, holding them in the damaging forest for longer. And the Fog upgrade makes the enemies have a hard time killing the Tree Ants, once again, holding the enemies in the damaging forest for longer. Yeah, it really doesn't do all that much damage, but it is great for crowd control, and it serves as an excellent helper tower. Number 5, Shaolin Temple. This is a pretty underrated range tower. It's great at crowd control and does a solid job stalling big enemies. It's not doing the most damage, but it doesn't really need to either. The Shaolin attack sends out a monk on the path, dealing damage and stunning enemies. Honestly, it serves as a decent barracks tower in a pinch. I really like the upgrades here too. The money upgrade is always nice, and what's especially great about it is that the temple doesn't have to get the kill to earn the extra cash. As long as it gets a hit off, you will benefit from the upgrade. Also, the Dragon Warrior is pretty strong, and the other upgrade to get more monks is great too. All around, such a good tower to have in your arsenal. Number 4, Bone Flingers. What the heck? Why are the Bone Flingers so unironically good? It's so much damage, and fast too. Before the Got Milk upgrade, the Bone Flingers do an average of 43 damage per second, which is already pretty good. It's about the same as the Shadow Archers. But with a maxed out Got Milk upgrade, the DPS jumps to 70 damage per second, which is the second highest in the entire game. What? Yes, their range is small, but god, that damage is crazy. Also, nice upgrades too. I already mentioned the Got Milk one. The Giant Skeleton is pretty good, and the Summon Skeleton is pretty take it or leave it. But still, holy crap, that damage. Whoa. Number 3, Swamp Thing. This is another one of my favorites. Holy crap, does this thing do damage. And consistently, too. At 4th level with star upgrades, the Swamp Thing does 99 to 110 damage every hit. That's so nice, and so much more consistent than basically every other tower in the game. Here's the thing. The ability to set the tower to Defender mode or Sentry mode is nice, and it's kind of cool. I mean, we've never seen that before in Kingdom Rush, but I almost always leave it in Sentry mode. It just seems so much better. The range is massive. You can place it anywhere, and it always has something to shoot. I don't know why they made the Swamp Thing a sniper, but hey, I'm not complaining. I wish some of the abilities were better for the Swamp Thing in Sentry mode. One of the abilities is exclusive for Defender mode, giving the Swamp Thing more health with each hit. I'm not exactly sure if the Smash upgrade is only for Defender mode or not. It says each hit has a small chance of insta-killing its primary target, which could be both, I guess. But the image of the upgrade is the Swamp Thing smashing his fist, so it really seems like a Defender mode kind of thing. The last upgrade, however, is good for both. Each attack has a chance of stunning enemies for 3 seconds, and the chance of stun climbs all the way up to 60%. This is a solid tower that's useful wherever you place it in the level. Number 2. Deep Devil's Reef. This tower really surprised me. It's basically the whole package. You've got excellent magic damage, which by the way is 59 damage per second, the same as the Infernal Mage, and you get 2 fish fighters to go along with it. It's basically the perfect tower. Yeah, it's pretty expensive, but look at everything you're getting for the price. This alone is a great defense, especially with all the upgrades to go with it. The Chosen of the Sea upgrade increases the stats of your fish defenders, whose stats were already pretty good. The Perfect Storm ability summons clouds that strike deadly lightning down on enemies, and then there's the Net Throw upgrade, which traps enemies along the path. It's got good damage, it's got blockers, it's got nice abilities. I mean, really, what more could you ask from a tower? And number 1. This tower might be better than any other in Kingdom Rush history, surpassing the titans like the Tesla Tower and the Necromancer. Number 1. Blazing Gem. This tower is incredible. The Blazing Gem will lock onto an enemy and slowly increase its damage level by level until the enemy dies. It caps out after a few levels, but Jesus, it does so much damage. The abilities too, they're all fantastic. One ability gives the tower a further level to increase the damage, which was already nuts. The second turns the beam into an instant kill ray every 20-ish seconds. And the third explodes the enemies after they're killed, dealing damage to all nearby troops. The devs also upgraded the targeting system for this tower, so it doesn't always target the furthest thing down the path. If it did, the tower would be trash because it could never build up damage before something left its range. This tower instead targets things near the beginning of its range, to build up raid levels to deal maximum damage. I cannot stress to you how good this tower is. It's my favorite in the game by far. And if you stall enemies in the Blazing Gem's range, they're done for. At phase 4, the tower will be dealing 70 to 105 damage every 0.4 seconds, which averages out to 219 damage per second. 219. The second closest being the Bone Flingers with 70 DPS. The Blazing Gem does 3 times more damage. The margin between these two numbers is 149 damage per second. Oh my god. How much power is too much power? This is right here. There is no contest. The Blazing Gem is number 1 by a ridiculous margin of 149 damage per second, and it has the other amazing abilities to go along with it. I'm sorry, Tesla. I'm sorry, Necromancer. The Blazing Gem has you beat. Thanks for watching. This was a big one. Man, 19 towers. Anyways, let me know what other Kingdom Rush videos I should make, or if you have any other game suggestions, I'm always open for ideas. As always, let me know what your ranking is in the comments below, or tell me something I got wrong in this video. Thanks for sticking with me all the way to the end. See you in the next video.